Hey, Lindsay, how are
Hi,
you?
Michelle. I'm doing pretty well. How are you? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks. Lindsay, what is something you tried but gave up on recently? So it could be
Oh,
something like sweets, learning something, a
definitely.
good habit.
No, I did not give up on sweets, Michelle. I have more ice cream than ever in my fridge these days. But I would say the getting up early. I was doing it for a while, and I've tried to sleep a bit more in the last few months. And so I've been like adjusting that a bit. So my walks are a little shorter
Right.
in the morning. So I gave up on getting up
Yeah,
super early to get more
good.
sleep. Yeah.
I'm just realizing how unbelievably important it
It
is. So,
is. It's almost more important than anything in a way, right? What about you, Michelle? Is there anything you've given up on lately?
I've tried to give up on I've been trying to eat more in a clean way. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, even when I have processed food, it's with like cleaner ingredients.
Okay.
I'm really trying
Yeah, that's good.
not to buy things with the whole long list of ingredients. I'm not perfect,
Yes.
but
Yes.
I like really pay attention to that stuff more. I
Yes.
don't know if it's going to help, but I try. So that's something. But today we're going to talk about an expression we use when we stop something or give up.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can say is call it. And this was inspired by another podcast episode. We used this phrase in the role play. So if you want to check that out, that was All Ears English. No dice. Fun ways to say something didn't work.
I love that. Yes, no dice. That was fun. That was a fun episode to record. So, guys, at the end of this episode, go and check that one out. But that is where the idea here came for today's episode. So, do we have a little
Yeah.
excerpt from that role play then,
The
Michelle? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how it came up.
All right.
All right.
Wow. It sounds like tonight is not our night.
I know. I say we just call it and try again next week.
Agreed. All right. Call it,
Yeah.
right? I say we just call it. That is what
Yeah.
we're
It's like
focusing on today, right?
right. It's like we announce that it's officially over in some
Yep,
way,
make the
right?
official announcement, and there's no going back at that point. You've essentially it means
Right.
to decide, right?
Yeah.
To decide something.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you might hear this with I'm just thinking now when there's like rain at a baseball game.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And they're trying to decide, are they gonna keep it going, are they gonna wait? Sometimes they wait hours, right? Or are they just gonna call it and say, okay, we're no more game?
Yes. Yes. Tennis was like that too. You can't play on wet courts, so there was always
Yeah.
a certain moment when you were waiting for them to call it. Is this match canceled or what are we doing? So we're gonna get into this today. But guys, hit that follow button right here on the All Ears English podcast. Don't miss a second of our show. We've got so much good content for you coming out this summer. You do not want to miss it. All right.
That's right. So, yeah, using this type of expression is for giving up or just ending something is great for connection because it shows honesty and self-awareness,
Yes.
right? Giving up, stopping something, it's really relatable. I mean, we have this culture of never give up, right?
We do. That's true.
Right?
Yeah, that is really cultural. This narrative we have of keep trying, never give up. But sometimes, yeah, it's strategic to call it,
Yeah.
to make a decision because we can't put our energy everywhere all the time.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've all started something with good intentions and then just realized this isn't going to work for whatever reason. And,
Yeah.
I mean, what's your philosophy on giving up?
This is a tough
Lindsay?
one because I
Yeah.
know that my partner's parents, when a sport was chosen for the season, the rule was that the kids had to continue it, like they couldn't quit after a few games. They had to finish the season, for example, to decide like if and then decide whether to quit after that. Like they weren't allowed to quit halfway through a season and they couldn't call it and just say this is not for me. They had to see it through.
Yeah.
I kind of respect that, that idea that like if for a certain amount of time you should see something through, right?
Right, because maybe in the beginning you hate it and then something happens like later on and you're like, oh, actually I learned this lesson or I'm actually pretty good at this aspect of the sport.
Exactly. So I feel like I tend more in that direction. I want to give it a real chance. Like I don't want to give in and quit on something until I really know if it's not for me or if I'm just being lazy or if I just don't like the inconvenience of learning something new, right? It's a little inconvenient. It's a little uncomfortable to be a beginner at something.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so uncomfortable.
For sure.
Yeah. But it is definitely very embedded in our culture, this idea of, oh, we can't give up. You don't quit.
Yes.
And that's a whole other conversation for another day.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, call it, as we've been saying, it means to decide to stop doing something.
Yes.
So we use it when we've had enough, we're tired of trying, or just something isn't working. So here, let's do a little example.
So are you still going to hot yoga?
Honestly, I had to call it after the third class.
Yeah, so you just kind of decided that wasn't for you, right? That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Classes are a little bit different than joining like a team where the team is relying on you, right? Like classes, you're just a consumer of a class in my mind, you know?
Yeah, right. So I guess, this idea of calling things or giving up, it's really different depending on the situation and whether maybe you should give something more of a chance or if it's not that serious. It's like, okay, so you didn't like the yoga class.
Yeah, not a big deal. Try the Pilates class next, right?
Right. Yeah, right. You can, that's fine. Lindsay, how do we use it? What's kind of the structure?
Okay, generally, guys, what we want to do is we want to create a structure like this. Have to plus call it. So, for example, it's so late. Are you still studying?
No, I had to call it hours ago.
Yeah. So
now, I don't mean I have to call it on the phone, right? Let's just make sure that's
yes.
I had to call the sitting on the phone, right? It just, I had to stop. Or here's another example.
Should we keep working on the IKEA furniture?
I think we have to call it. It's driving us both crazy.
Oh my gosh. Classic challenges. Have you ever ordered something from IKEA and just not been able to put it together? Just like you just couldn't do it.
We've been pretty lucky. I mean, I'm not the big putter together of things.
Yeah.
But I'll help.
Yeah.
I have had it's funny. It's always this moment where I watch, like, if Dan's doing something or if I'm helping and you think, I can't get it. What is this? And then all of a sudden you're like,
fit
oh.
together. Yeah, there's a realization. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's true. That's a good feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
But is have to and call it the only construction we use? Are there other ways we could construct this phrase?
No, we could also do this. We could say going to plus call it, right? So going to call it. So this is usually when talking about yourself.
Okay.
Right? So for example, you've been writing all day.
Yeah, I really have, but I'm going to call it. I can't focus anymore. Okay.
Right. And notice Lindsay said gonna call it, right? So when we talk about the structure, we were saying going to, but you guys know we're gonna say gonna.
Yeah, we're not gonna say going to.
Right.
Exactly.
And then you could give a suggestion. So if you're doing that, might sound like this: should we? And then say call it. Should we call it?
We call it. This recipe is not turning out as planned. Should we call it?
Yes, let's just order takeout.
Again, making the decision to not continue with the recipe, right? Is what call it means here. And then the final construction is let's call it, right? Let's decide to do this together, right? So for example, Michelle, what would you say?
Should we keep searching?
No, let's call it. I don't think we're going to find it. Yeah. So here you're calling off a search of some sort. You haven't been able to find it. You haven't been successful.
Yeah, just forget it. Maybe we'll buy whatever it is, a new one, or just cut our losses.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, quick question. Do you want to feel more confident when you speak English? If so, we made a free guide for you. It'll help you avoid those common mistakes and start speaking more naturally in real conversations. Go grab it in the description below. And if this is helpful for you, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're here 5 times a week to help you connect in English.
All right, Michelle, here we go. So there are other expressions that kind of mean the same thing, like call it quits. I guess maybe call it is just a shortened version of call it quits. Do you think?
Some of these, yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think so. Probably. It's used in a very similar way. I mean, so here's how you would use it. Do you still go hiking on the weekends?
No, I had to call it quits. I injured my knee. The other thing it might be short for is call it off. But call it off and call it quits mean two different things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Call it off means like to actually cancel
something.
Like I'm thinking of like a wedding.
Yes.
We had to call off the wedding, right?
It's a specific event at a specific time. Is it going to happen or not? Whereas call it quits means you quit anything, any hobby, anything that you tend to do, right?
Right. Like I don't think I would say like I'm going to call off learning French.
No,
you know,
I'm going to call it off now.
Just like
no, yeah. Completely agree.
Then there's let's call it a day. So this is usually just end something just for the day. At the end of the day, we're saying this is done. So for example, how late should we stay?
Actually, let's call it a day. You guys did great work today. And I love this phrase. I love it because when I'm saying it, I'm like, all done, you know? So it has a good feeling to it, you know? It's the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or we can call it a day, but we can also call it a night.
Yeah.
So this one is more about actually going to bed, right? So it's interesting because you would say call it a day. Usually at the end of the day, we're labeling this was a day and now it's going to be in the past, right?
Right.
So, but when we say let's call it a night, it's more, okay, let's call it a night. I mean, you could say let's call it a day when you're going to sleep, but you could also say let's call it a night.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's been something happening in the evening, right? Like maybe you've had friends over to play cards or something. And, you know, you're the host and you're just saying like, hey, guys, I'm tired. Let's call it a night. And you're basically saying leave my home. We've done episodes about this, trying to get people to leave your home at the end of the night. So check out those episodes from the last couple of months.
Leave my home.
Right? Yeah. So let's call it a night. Or I don't know, just any event is happening in the evening. You wouldn't say this like at the end of a work day though, would you, Michelle? I mean, at 5 p.m. you wouldn't call it a night because it's not the nighttime.
You would say call it a day still. Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
But it might sound like this. So I'm exhausted.
Oh, me too. Let's call it a night. Or maybe you're like assembling furniture with your partner in the evening, your IKEA furniture, right? And you just can't quite finish it. And you just say, let's leave everything here. We'll do it in the morning. Let's call it a night, right?
Exactly.
You're kind of giving up. You're just giving up whatever you're doing for the day. All right.
Exactly. So similar phrases. So this one comes from poker. Ooh. So know when to fold them, right? I think that's in a song, right?
Yes. I think it's in like an old country song or something. Yeah, give up. So know when to fold them. So I'm not really a poker player, but I guess when you give up your hand, because you fold, know that you're gonna win. Is that what it is? Or
no, you know you're gonna lose.
Gonna lose, of course. That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
You give up because you're gonna win. It's
I should not play poker.
No.
Especially not with money.
No. So are you still trying to land that big client?
Oh, no. I gave it a shot, but I know when to fold them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This one you're not going to hear necessarily as much, but you might. And now you know, I mean, what it means. Yeah. So, or I can't believe I went on another date with him. It was terrible.
Michelle, you got to know when to fold them. It's more rare, right? We know it from that one country song and we know the phrase as native speakers, but we probably don't use it that much, maybe once a year or something. I don't know. Right.
Yeah. But this one is more common, I think. Yeah. Throw in the towel.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So also give up. So this is like from boxing. So a coach throws a towel in the ring when the fighter is done.
Okay. I always wondered where that one comes from. So that's interesting. Right.
Yeah. So are you still training for the marathon?
No, I threw in the towel. My knees just couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Okay. Or were you able to fix the sink?
I had to throw in the towel. I tried for hours and then finally just called the plumber. Which I probably,
Lindsay, you can't do anything.
I probably should have done that originally. I know I'm not a fix-it person. I'm just not that person. I don't fix things.
Yeah, you're falling apart here. Yeah. No, I'm not either. I have to call people. But that's all right. So let's do a role play and see how this all fits together.
All right. So here we are, friends. We're talking on the phone at night. we're discussing a Netflix series that we've watched. All right.
All right.
So did
here
you
we
finally see Stranger Things?
Ooh, I tried. I watched the first 3 episodes, but I had to call it. I'm just not into sci-fi.
I completely get that. You have to know when to fold them.
Yeah, I definitely gave it a chance. What about you? Did you finish the series?
I'm on the last few episodes, but it's so late. I'm going to have to call it a night.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I better get to bed.
Me too.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, nice. So here we're using lots of the expressions, some of the idioms, and some of the main things that we taught our listeners today. So Michelle, what did you say first? I asked you, did you see Stranger Things? And is this a series that you watch yourself, Michelle? Stranger Things?
No. Is it
it's
for
not
you?
For me, but I know it's popular. I bet a lot of our listeners
Oh,
do.
people love
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
And I said I watched the first 3 episodes, but I had to call it. So I didn't watch it anymore. Lindsay, do you ever feel it's always so interesting to me when people say, "Oh, this show is amazing, but like you just have to get through the first few episodes. You just have to get through," and right? You hear people say that?
Yeah, I know.
They're saying it gets really good, and it's like, okay, well,
And if I want to do
great. Now I just
it makes it sound like work. If I want to do work, I'll do work.
Right.
If there has to be something in the first couple of episodes that hook me, that keep me in
Yes.
it. So yeah, I also don't really get that. It seems like
Yeah,
and
like,
when I'm tired,
you just have to get through it. That's terrible, and then it pays off.
At the end of the night when you turn on Netflix, you're like, all you want is just to be entertained, and that's it. You don't have to work.
Right.
So,
You don't want to have to be like, well, if I just work harder, I can get through these episodes. And then, yeah.
you save that
I'm watching
attitude for the
TV.
morning when you're back to work or something, right?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So that always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And then what did you say?
I said, I completely get that. You have to know when to fold them. So I'm just saying, I understand why you stopped watching that show. Like, and this can happen with a book too.
A book.
It's happened.
Yeah, I'm bad. I don't know when to fold anything when I'm
No,
reading
you
a
just
book.
keep
I'm just
going.
like, maybe it'll get good. It might
just-
get
you
better.
just
It's
keep-
probably going to be good.
So you just keep plowing through, right? You just
I
keep
plow
going.
through. That's
Okay.
a good one. Yep. And then I said, did you finish the series? And you said, I'm on the last few episodes, but it's so late. So it sounds like you're binge watching, but you're being very responsible. And you say, I'm going to have to call it a night. So you're going to have to turn it off, go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Exactly. There you go. So these are great ways to say that you're wrapping something up. You're not going to continue with something. Something is just kind of not working for you, right?
That's
good
right.
episode today, Michelle. Guys, go over to 2574. Learn this English well before you need it, right? We like to do things
Awesome.
well before they have to be done. We prepare ahead of time. So go learn
Yep.
that vocabulary. And Michelle, any final takeaway for today?
Yeah. I think it does take a certain emotional intelligence to know when do I keep on going?
Yes.
When do I call it? And also it says a lot about our culture. So I'd be curious to hear from our listeners, like, is your culture, is it okay to give up? Right?
Totally. That is exactly what I was thinking too, Michelle. So this is a great connection moment. You could start a conversation with someone about their culture and your culture. What are the narratives around giving up? We know what it is in American culture. It's very much never give up, right? But there's
Yes.
also there's also something that happens in our human mind, the sunk cost phenomenon. When we've already put in a certain amount of money or work into something, we have a harder time walking away from it, even when it's not working out. So that kind of collides with our cultural narratives, and we get into some really robust conversations here, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Very
guys, have a
interesting.
conversation with someone, with a native speaker about this. Ask them about their culture. Also get into like, what are the fairy tales that you were read as a kid, or like the songs you consumed, the storybooks that we read to children. That will tell you so much about your own culture, right?
That's right. Exactly. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm glad we talked about this today. And Lindsay, should we call it?
Let's call it. Yep, it's been called.
It's been called. Calling it. All right.
All right,
Bye,
Michelle,
guys.
Take care. Bye.